All right. Hey, let's see. We got ad break for like another 30 seconds. And then hopefully everybody will be here. If the Raiders, you're not getting ads, welcome. Bison's here. Yeah, ads.
Welcome, traveler.
Oh, fuck you. Oh my god.
I'll do a quick shout out here for Addy Bear.
Yep, Addy Bear, because he is the one who just raided us.
Absolutely.
All right. Hopefully, people will let us know when they're back from ads. Addy Bear with the raid. Oh yeah, I know. Oh my god, giant ass raid. I'm gonna write that down real quick so I don't forget that. Rated me. Addy. Where is it? Bear 1988 TTV with 39.
Welcome, welcome.
Welcome. Not Kingdom. All right. Hopefully everybody's here.
Yes, ad should be over based on the timing that I saw.
Finally got to rage out last. Yeah, I know. It's been like I've been following you around for a while, and it's just like timing is like ships in the night, man. We just keep missing each other. All right, so welcome everyone. Welcome Raiders. Welcome to Tabletop Tuesday, where me and my partner in crime here, Candid Gamera, talk about nerdy shit. We educate you on some nerd stuff while I usually play some sort of game in the background. Tonight's going to be Final Fantasy XIV again because I really like this game.
Understandable.
Yep. Before we get into the thick of everything, though, we do need to at least mention our sponsors, which are keeping the lights on here.
And yes, Wiseman, there is a new Hasbro discussion.
Yeah, Hasbro's to be roasted, as always. One Hasbro, finally roasted.
Well done.
Well done. Our sponsors are down below. It's Shocked by Gaming Servers. There's a link down below. If you click on them, it helps us out. They have a ton of gaming servers. Trust me, they are great servers. Check them out. Second sponsor is W Energy Drinks. They are like, comes in a little container with a powder. They taste amazing. I've always been a fan of the Galaxy Grenade. That's just me. I always like that one. All right. It's all right. Oh. I have all my notes here up on screen, and they shouldn't be there. It wouldn't be one of my streams if it wasn't scuffed.
Now they know that you don't improvise this all off the top of your head.
This time?
Yeah. We are collecting the money from my gambling addiction in 14. Oh, Eddie Bear raided it again with one? Okay, that was weird.
It's Twitch being Twitch.
Go away with that sound. Go away with that sound, woman. And is sitting behind my head playing my fear.
For those just joining us,
The bitch who made the boo-boo.
Ruby is terrified of the facehuggers from Aliens.
Yeah, that is my fear. Like, I know it's a weird phobia, but it's a phobia.
And you put those down.
It's not weird to be afraid of them.
If you did that willingly, I get to torture you with it too.
Fair enough. You were saying, Gamera?
It's not weird to be afraid of them. It is a little funny the degree to which you're afraid of them, just based on the sound.
Yeah, I know what they look like. I know how they behave because I'm a big fan of the Alien franchise.
Yep.
So the sound is just, the image comes into my head, everything.
Yep.
It just messes with me, and I'm like, ah.
It makes your brain go.
Yeah. So part of Tabletop Tuesday, folks, for those who are new to it, is, like I said, we talk about random nerdy subjects. We usually start off with a little bit of gaming news, anything new that happened that we want to bring up that is kind of
Hasbro bash.
Yeah, the Hasbro bash. There's that. But then there's also should be a redeem on here, I believe. Where is it? Yeah, add topic to the wheel. So for 100 critical roles, which is the channel points here, you can add a topic to our wonderful wheel of discussion.
Yes.
There it is right there. all of these. You can add shit to it. Let's go. So, there's all kinds of fun stuff there. All right? So, we include the audience in that. And if you have any questions about any topics, especially the ones we're covering, by all means, type them in chat. We'll answer them.
And we're pretty broad as to what topics we cover. You know, it's Tabletop Tuesday, but really anything nerdy. We've talked about like VTubers and things before. It can go on the wheel. We live to engage.
The wheel has decided the fate of all. Oh yes. So there is that. All right. So we have our weekly Hasbro Bash. Would you like to cover that, good sir?
Sure, I'll start with our Hasbro Bash. So, entertainingly and perhaps predictably, after Hasbro made a big stink, and Wizards specifically made a big stink about not using AI on their products, after, let me back up, I think it was the Big B's Giants book that came out, that it was revealed that some of the art in the book had been produced by one of their contractor artists who used AI assistants and perhaps used some inspiration images taken from other people. That caused a huge controversy, and Hasbro and Wizards came out and said, we're looking at our policy, we're going to make sure that our contractors know that we're not going to use AI in any of our books. And to be fair, you know, people have been on guard for Hasbro and Wizards to break that pledge because nobody trusts them anymore. So much so that even the core book previews for the upcoming D&D revision, people picked out a piece of art and said, "Oh, that's AI generated," and in that case, they were actually incorrect, and they were able to prove that. Like, you know, here's the working, you know, sketches. You know, we have the process from the artist. It was not AI generated. And then, over on the Magic the Gathering side of the house, they released a promo image where I guess they're releasing some classic lands in the old card border style. And so they had 5 of the lands lovingly displayed on what looks like a steampunk study environment. And it's very pretty, but it took people like 5 seconds to like zoom in on a pressure dial that's there, and it's like, oh, this thing that kind of looks like gauge marks and numbers. If you zoom in close, you can see that it very clearly descends into just little hash marks, as it would if it were AI generated. So they're like, here are the 5 ways we know this was AI generated, and Wizards and Hasbro was like, nuh-uh. And they're like, no, seriously, guys, this was AI generated. So apparently, they checked in with the outsourced contractor they used to produce the art and confirmed that AI was, in fact, used to partially, at least, generate that image. So they have officially acknowledged it and apologized, though their apology was along the lines of, well, you know, modern tools like Photoshop are including AI enhancement and blah, blah, blah. So it was really trying to, it's not our fault, but we apologize anyway. And so, yeah, people are once again disappointed in them. If they hadn't just fired the majority of their art and design department, this perhaps would not look as bad as it does. But how are you going to produce art for all the Magic and Wizards products without an art department, unless you're using, you know, just lots and lots of contractors? And that's got to be almost as expensive unless you're going to cheat and use AI, and that temptation's going to be there because they want to get that stock price up.
And they messed up. Like, good God.
Yeah.
Because
welcome, Trevor.
Thank you, Miss Jazzy Jewel, for joining the tavern. Grab yourself a mug of ale, pull up a chair, have fun, and don't fireball my goddamn tavern.
It doesn't matter if you fireball the tavern.
Rose, away, child. Do not encourage the pyros.
They grow up so fast. I remember when she used to scold them for fireballing the tavern.
Now she's telling them to.
Yep.
Those of you listening, that was my 8-year-old daughter. Who you all have turned into a pyro as well.
Yes.
God damn it.
Learned it from roasting you.
Yeah, apparently. One streamer, well roasted. Oh man, we keep getting those guys.
But yeah, we're literally a week into 2024 and they've already had another scandal. At this point, Hasbro is screwing something up on a weekly basis, so it's just a question of what'll they do before next week or the week after.
Yeah, like when we originally did this, we were thinking, oh, we'll make it like a one-time thing, maybe a twice thing. And it has become now almost a weekly thing.
Yeah, it's telling that there are no other RPG companies that are making this kind of controversy. You know, Paizo isn't making this kind of controversy. Chaosium's not making this kind of controversy. They're not as big, don't get me wrong, but you can't stay the industry leader forever screwing up on a daily basis.
Oh yeah, and then on top of that, I mean, the only other screw-up I've heard of, and this is kind of, I would feel like, on the minor end, was the Critical Role system. And when you compare that to the Hasbro stuff, that's peanuts, man.
Yeah, what was the specific issue with the Critical Role system?
I'm trying to remember the name of it. Candela Oscura, I think it was called.
Yeah.
It's a copy of another system called Knives in the Dark.
No, I mean, it uses Blades in the Dark
Blades
as
in
its
the Dark,
inspiration. Yeah.
A lot of people pointed out, though, who are big Blades in the Dark fans, that it has way too much similar in it.
Well, you know, I don't know that that's necessarily a problem, like, legally, because I don't know what the licensing terms are like for Blades in the Dark. It might be an open game license. But if you're expecting an original product and you get something that is not an original product, I can understand being disappointed.
It's more of like, how do I put this? It's not so much a legal problem for them that's the problem. It is a community problem. Because a lot of members of their community that weren't the hardcore fans have subsequently gotten really pissed off that they did this.
I mean, I guess.
But like I said, in comparison, this is minor to to all the Hasbro shit.
Yeah, I'm not saying, you know, I guess, and doubting that they did that. I'm just like, why would you get upset about this? There are 15 million different flavors of Fate. There are 15 million different flavors of D20. Just because a game uses the same engine as another game. Oh. Yeah. I don't know.
Like I said, it is the most minor of screw-ups in comparison.
Yeah.
So there is that. Other fun nerdy shit that's come out. Speaking of the Alien franchise like we did earlier, they're looking at doing a reboot movie.
Okay.
Now, I'm not against the idea. I mean, Alien could use a reboot. I'm not against it. Here's the problem I have with it, though. They're replacing the entire original character cast with teenagers.
Huh.
Oh my!
Yeah. Yeah, so I feel like that's gonna... literally take, like, a lot of the horror out of it. Because, like, if I see a teenager losing their mind, I'm not gonna be as scared as, like, the 30-year veteran captain who's been doing this job for most of his life, and he's crapping his pants.
I will say this. You can do... And it depends on what you mean by teenager. If you're talking about, like, 13, yeah, forget that. that's ridiculous. But if you're talking like 18, 19-year-olds, here's what I will say. Do you remember the movie Final Destination?
Yes.
Those characters are like late teenagers, early 20-somethings, and it actually manages to be kind of frightening and effective. So you can do it, but you're going to need to be really careful how you write that, I think.
Yeah. But the thing is, like, the reason why I have issues with it, and this is like a concern issue, not like, oh, this movie's gonna suck. Like, it's more of
Right.
We're like, I'm gonna hold my breath on this because I'm a little worried.
Right.
Got hit by that. Damn it. One of the reasons why the aliens seemed so frightening was because people who were experienced were getting in over their head.
Yeah, King Lazy 44, you're going to be egging the aliens on because the teenagers are annoying.
Yeah. At that point, I might... Well, let's be brutally honest. When I watched Alien vs. Predator 2 Requiem, I kind of was cheering for the pet alien by the end of the movie. Because they had a lot of teenagers in the movie, and none of them were redeeming characters.
Well, and that's true, honestly, regardless of the age of the characters. If the characters are really annoying, I'm very happy to see them die.
Yeah.
And that is usually terrible for the effectiveness of a horror movie. Like Blair Witch Project. I'm going to go way back. The three main characters in that are so unlikable that I was just like, this is dull, because I can't even properly enjoy them getting killed because of the found footage style. I want to see these jerks get torn apart because I don't
please,
like
gods, do it faster. Now, some movies can do that kind of style of film well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was kind of a fan of Cloverfield.
I have not watched all of Cloverfield, but I mean, I hear people speak well of it.
Oh, I was talking about the movie, not the show.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Oh, okay.
I've seen like clips, is what I mean.
Yeah, but the whole movie's done in this, like, guy carrying around a camera thing.
Oh, sure. Found footage style.
And it's done well. Like, I kind of liked how they did it. It works for that. But, with that being said, there are other films that I really hate that did something similar. I feel Evil Dead is still killing it, in my opinion, and Cloverfield is an okay film. Yeah, Cloverfield's an okay film. I'm not saying it's a great film. I'm just saying it worked with that style. One film that really didn't work with that style was Unfriended.
Okay, I haven't watched it, but I've heard of it.
The whole movie is done on a Skype call. The whole fucking movie.
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, I was just like, why? Why is this a thing?
I spent too long during the pandemic on, video calls to enjoy a movie on a video call. Come on.
Yeah, it was just like, no, dog, no, don't do this. Oh. Yeah, that's why I was like, if you were ever going to watch that movie and you told me that, I wanted to warn you about the style. Because I feel like you would have hated the shit out of it.
I mean, as a rule, I think found footage sometimes frustrates me. It can be effective, especially if used for, like, part of a film. But, like Blair Witch Project, I've had so many bad experiences with found footage style horror that if I see a movie is being done in that style, I tend to assume it's going to be bad, and then sometimes I might be pleasantly surprised.
Rock as, what up, Smurf and Lyric, have a great stream. Okay. What's your opinion on VHS? You mean the movie?
Yeah, I assume he means the movie.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
I actually have not seen that either. I'm loosely familiar with the premise, but yeah, I have not watched it. My horror movie tastes tend to be cheesy horror. I'm a big fan of what I call them bad movies, but really what I mean are cheesy movies, because they're not necessarily bad, though some of them are. I really like a good cheesy horror movie. One movie that I really like that almost everybody else seems to think is garbage is Jason X. That's Jason in space. Because it is so over the top. It is so ridiculous. And it's just like, oh, it's okay, guys. He just wanted his machete back. That is the greatest pre-kill idiot line in the history of cinema.
Yeah, it's like...
Jason's upset. I gave him his machete back. Everything's fine now. And then the guy died.
It's like, idiot.
It's okay. He just wanted his machete back.
I gotta...
Oh yeah, I haven't watched the Paranormal Activity or the one about the doll. Is that Annette?
Whatever.
Yeah.
A lot of horror movies I've fallen way behind on. I'm like an 80s horror person.
Sure, yeah.
I like Aliens, what else? Jason, the original Jason movies, Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween movies.
Gonna say Elm Street.
Yeah.
I mean, arguably, the first Alien is, horror. It's not really action-y like the sequel. The sequel's a bit of both. Oh,
Yeah.
Nice. Replica Jason mask.
Oh, that's cool as hell.
I'm trying to think. I really do like the Final Destination series because just that gimmick of we're kind of watching the effects that death is trying to manipulate the world to kill these characters after they somehow dodge out of the way of their ordained death.
Yeah,
I think it's a really good gimmick.
Rube Goldberg machine.
Yeah, and I love a good Rube Goldberg device too.
Of course you do.
I like the Phantasm movies. I don't know if you've seen those.
No, I haven't.
Basically, the Phantasm movies are sort of like cosmic horror adjacent. We have this character called the Tall Man, who's a very creepy character who is at the service of some kind of extra-dimensional being. And when he's killing people for that being, the way he does it is he sends out these little silver balls about the size of a baseball that fly around like little drones, and when they get close to their target, these little razor-like blades pop out of the front. They hit the target's forehead, and then a spout comes out of the back of the ball, and it essentially just vacuums their blood out in front of them. Very creepy, very effective, but pretty entertaining. King Lazy also mentioned the Evil Dead franchise, and I assume, King Lazy, you're talking about the more recent Evil Deads, which I haven't seen much of yet. But the classic Evil Dead 2, Army of Darkness, big fan there.
Oh, yeah.
What else? Yeah, I just... they're stupid as hell, but the Leprechaun movies.
Yeah, those are...
I love them.
Those are pretty good ones. I found Event Horizon interesting.
I need to rewatch Event Horizon.
I didn't hate it. I feel like Event Horizon's probably the closest we'll ever get to 40k and how the warp acts when you don't have a shielded target.
Yeah, I saw someone on YouTube a couple weeks ago who had here are the Warhammer 40k movies you can watch right now. Basically movies that are sort of, they represent one or more aspects of Warhammer. And Event Horizon was, of course, the number one pick.
Yeah,
Hey, 7-time Frankie.
Raid! Hey, Frankie. Oh, man.
And King Lazy mentioned Reanimator, which is also fantastic.
Well, that's a classic. See, the biggest problem I have with horror movies is I can't watch them too often in my house.
Yeah, you got kids.
I got kids, and the last thing I need is for them to get nightmares.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, my go-to description for Tyranids almost gave the kids nightmares.
Yeah. What do you describe them as?
I describe how they invade the planet, and from the people being invaded points of view. And apparently it scared the shit out of the kids when I was doing that for Naja back in the day.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it was just like, oh!
Yeah, I love a good cheesy horror movie over the top. A later one that's surprisingly effective and has a surprising number of sequels, Wishmaster. Have you ever seen Wishmaster?
No, that's actually one that I've not watched yet.
Very darkly funny, but it is twisted because it's about an evil genie. And it does the classic genie thing of, oh, you wished for this? I'm going to give you exactly what you wished for.
A very monkey's paw shit, huh?
Uh-huh, but because it's, designed as an R-rated horror movie, it becomes, very twisted, and people die in gruesome ways because of these wishes. It's really good.
I will say this. I enjoy, and this is going to make people look at me weird. I actually enjoyed the first Alien vs. Predator movie. I enjoyed the movie. It was fun. It was what it was. I disliked Requiem. And
okay.
The reason why is the same reason why I have problems with the Saw movies. Is you go over the top.
Yep.
And I'm like, I don't feel like that's needed. For Requiem, the scene that threw me, made me go, nah, this movie's dumb as hell, other than the teenage characters being completely unlikable, is when the Pred alien went into a maternity ward. And if they had just shown it going into the maternity ward, like in the doors or something, and then cutting off from there, we could all, make the assumption of what just happened.
Yep.
All right? But no, these guys needed their rated R, rating back hard, so they showed what happened in there in all of its gruesome glory.
Delightful.
And I'm like, you guys really should have chilled on that.
Oh, and by the way, King Lazy, I think you're thinking of Puppet Master versus Demonic Toys.
Yeah. That's one thing, the Chucky series. I understand a lot of people enjoyed it. I didn't care for it.
Hit or miss for me. I think that some of the entries are pretty entertaining.
Honestly, the easiest way to deal with an idiotic doll. Tie it to a cement weight, fill a tub with cement with mint in it, and then just sink it into the ocean.
Yeah.
Problem solved.
Yeah.
Ad break in 15 seconds.
Okay. So we will wish you all well on the ad break. Good luck.
We'll try to preserve the rest of the discussion.
Oh, yeah.
When we see you again.
Oh, right. That's a big honkin' slice. This guy has such a cool design. Because that's not his head up there. Like, the monstrous head? That's not his head. He's a normal dude. He's just wearing an animal's, fur on top of his head.
Yeah.
And it looks just fucking amazing. Alright. He's gonna jump. Nope. I gotta go away from you.
Wonder. Let me see. Best way for us to tell when the ads are done. Maybe I'll open up a second browser.
Oh, they all stood next to each other.
Oh, there. It's telling me. Ad break ends in 1 minute and 20.
Wild Rampage. Sure. Okay, 1 minute and 5 seconds. Okay. I wonder if I could take on this boss all by myself. I mean, I do have a lot of self-heals. I'm not.
Alright. 42 seconds.
Okay.
So are all Final Fantasy 14 bosses like puzzle bosses like this?
Yeah,
Okay.
which is really actually cool. I love that they did that because, like, you will very rarely lose the fight due to numbers. You will usually lose it due to mechanics.
Right.
So as long as you can do the mechanics, you will tend to win.
Fair enough. And we're back.
All right, we're back. Woohoo! Awesome.
But yeah, horror movies. Interesting thing. I don't think we've talked about horror movies on the Tabletop Tuesday.
No.
We might have touched on tabletop like horror, use of horror, but I'm trying to think of some other good ones that I can recommend. I mean, what kind of horror movies do you personally prefer? You said 80s, Ruby, but is there like a genre that you prefer, a style of horror?
I like psychological horror the best.
Okay.
That's honestly my favorite. Oh, no, I couldn't fight the guy. I just got stomped. This game looks good. I've recently finished off FF16, New Game Plus, DLC. Have not played this yet. Yeah, this is 14. It's the MMO. It is free up until Shadowbringers, I believe, is the last expansion that's free. And there are two. So Shadowbringers is the second to last expansion, and then the current end expansion is Endwalker. Their next expansion's coming out this year, but later this year. And that's Dawn Trail. And it's your stereotypical MMORPG where you have tank, healer, DPS. But let this be a lesson: every class is a DPS class in this game. Every class. Like, you have to be dishing out damage, even as a healer.
Fair enough.
So everybody contributes. And there's a style of class for everybody in this game, depending on what you aim for. For me, I like being tanks. That's always been my shtick in MMOs. I've maxed out Gunbreaker, which is my favorite tank. I am now working on Warrior. Best way to describe Warrior is you're really big, really angry, and you use a big fuck-off axe to basically, make the problem go away. Just essentially apply axe to problem, keep applying until problem is gone.
Yeah. Apply axe directly to forehead.
Yeah. Gunbreaker is my favorite because it's literally the ADD tank class. Good night, child. I love you. I'm working. I got you tapped. That's A-okay, dude. We take lurkers here all the time.
Absolutely.
Yep.
A series that I have not seen a lot of, one of the classic horror series that I really want to sit down and watch, is Hellraiser.
Yeah, I heard good things about that. I've seen clips, but I've never watched the whole thing. Rose, I am currently busy. Can you please do something else? My daughter's supposed to be in bed, and she is just fighting it.
Yeah, kids do that.
Yeah. There's a reason why I use the parent tag on my stream. So that people understand that, yes, I have kids. They are here, and they like to get in my way sometimes.
Speaking of kids and horror, have you ever seen The Omen?
Not a fan!
One of the things that I have watched recently and was kind of fascinated by is an old television series called Kolchak the Night Stalker. And you probably have heard of it, I'm guessing? Maybe not.
Familiar.
It was in 1974. There were 2 TV movies first, and then they decided to make a series out of it, and they made 20 episodes before they decided to cancel it after 1 season. But basically the concept was that You had Carl Kolchak, who was a reporter based out of Chicago, at least for the television show version. And he kept getting mixed up with supernatural horror cases. So, one time he'd be dealing with a vampire, another time he'd be dealing with a werewolf. And it's a direct inspiration for both the X-Files and for the show Supernatural. As a matter of fact, as I learned very recently, the original concept for Supernatural was going to be a reporter going around dealing with the supernatural, but they then decided, let's make it two brothers instead of a reporter.
Yeah, so it's not a direct ripoff.
Right, it was literally, that was the first idea Eric Kripke had, was just, let's rip off Kolchak the Night Stalker. I bring it up just because, having mentioned The Omen, 2 years before The Omen was a movie, they basically did the Omen plotline, except it was an adult politician going towards the presidency who had to deal with the devil instead of like an antichrist child that was destined for the presidency.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, nice, King Lazy, yeah.
I'm gonna be basically, I may be upsetting people. I may not be upsetting people when I say this. I've never watched Supernatural.
That's okay.
It's never been on my watch list. And that was partially due to the fact that I had some friends as fans that were super fans. And they just wouldn't let it go.
Yeah.
And it just made it less palatable to me. Like,
I totally get that.
I think I'll go back and watch it eventually. I think I can still do that.
Sure.
But there's a couple of shows out there that I just can't watch because of the people I've associated with them, and I just can't do it.
Yeah, and it gets on your nerves sometimes when someone just goes like, "Oh, you got to watch this show. You got to watch this show. You got to watch this show." It's like, I was gonna.
Not anymore.
Like, I had a bunch of friends who were really into Babylon 5, and I've seen some episodes. It's fine. But I'm a big
B5 fan.
Yeah, the fact that they were just so thrilled about it and talking about it all the time made me just tired. I'm like, I'll get around to it maybe. I like Supernatural. I've seen every episode. For me, the first couple of seasons are very Monster of the Week, which is fine. I was a big fan of Monster of the Week, like on Buffy.
Yeah.
And then they start getting into grander plots. And honestly, I love it when a show, any show, goes long enough that it can start doing essentially meta gags about itself. Yeah. And Supernatural got to do that, and it made me very happy. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Supernatural, big fan of Buffy and Angel, big fan of Kolchak. X-Files is not one that caught me as much. Like, I would watch a random X-Files episode and I'd be happy with it, but I just didn't watch it like every week.
It's hard to find a show with a better complete arc from beginning to end than Babylon 5. Yes, and there's only one reason why I say that. The entire script, seasons 1 through 4, not the 5th season, but seasons 1 through 4 was written and done before the first episode was even filmed. They had a plan for the whole show.
Yeah, they didn't literally have scripts like down to dialogue, but he did have like the arc.
Yeah, he had what was called the production Bible, which was story elements that were going to be put into the show consistently. So think of it as kind of like, instead of a storyboard, the next step down, where things are more hammered out, and yeah, but it wasn't down to like, okay, in episode 24 of season 4, this character is going to say this line. It wasn't like full scripts or anything. Yeah. But it was very well done. I would highly recommend Babylon 5 to a lot of sci-fi fans. Yeah. I mean, like I said, I've seen a few episodes. It's fine. It doesn't click with me to the same degree as it does with other folks. Which is fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, Gibbon, they are doing a remake of some kind. I'm not clear if it's like a sequel reboot or just a plain reboot
I
or
think
what.
it's just a full reboot is what they said.
I know that Straczynski was, concerned about doing something like a direct sequel because so many of the original actors have passed away.
Yeah. I honestly don't think they're going to find anybody who can do Jakar as well as Andrew Karinas? I can never pronounce his name.
That sounds close.
I can never get into myself. I know why it's sort of my thing. I don't know what myself. Don't know why sort of thing. Yeah. There's the old the new Battlestar Galactica. That was the reboot. That was good. I like that.
My only beef with Battlestar Galactica's reboot version was it felt like to me that it very quickly degenerated into, okay, who's going to be revealed as the secret Cylon agent this week?
Yeah.
There's only so long you can sustain that level of paranoia for me before my brain just gets bored.
Welcome, Scorch McNarly, to the tavern. Grab yourself a mug of ale, pull up a chair, have fun, and, you have a great day. Okay, healer, can you please...
Welcome, traveler.
What is the healer doing? He's not doing his job. Why isn't...
Let me do a quick shout out for Gracker221 here.
Thank you.
Since you're busy getting cubed.
Yeah. Oh, the healer left.
Oops. Yeah, it's like The Walking Dead is another good example. Basically, it's like, okay, at a certain point, it becomes like just misery, just constant misery, and I don't want to watch a show to watch characters suffer all the time. And with Battlestar Galactica, it's like I don't want to watch a show just to watch characters be paranoid all the time. You need to have like this emotional arc, so sometimes there's relief. So the paranoia or the fear or the misery has meaning. You need more. You need episodes that don't have the paranoia. You need episodes that don't have the misery for me to really get back into it. Or otherwise, I'm just like, you know what? I could go watch a fun show instead.
Yeah. One show I'm sad that they're not going to be continuing is Orville.
Is that official yet? Because last I heard is that there was no news, but it was not looking good.
Well, the problem is with the Orville is paying the actors enough money.
Yeah.
That is the issue they've been having, and I believe until that issue is resolved, we are not going to get another season.
Right, but that also does not equate to Hulu has decided to cancel it.
Oh, no. Hulu is not canceling it. The actors are saying, we are not doing this until, we get paid better, and Seth MacFarlane's got to step up and let that happen.
I doubt that he'd be against it. It's not coming out of his pocket.
Yeah.
He's not the money bags there.
Yeah, it's mostly... Excuse me.
Right on, King Lazy. Get those kids out to school tomorrow morning.
Oh,
so
yeah, trust me, I
get some
that.
sleep.
Trust me, I get the kids out to school in the morning. I have two of my own.
I did just see that apparently Our Flag Means Death was not getting a season 3. It was just announced today.
Oh, that's shitty.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet. I hope Max doesn't take it offline before I get a chance to.
That's fair.
But yeah, I like shows that tend to have a lighter touch with the horror and paranoia, just because it's one thing for a movie to be constantly paranoid for 2 hours. That's sustainable. But if it's a television show where you're watching 22 episodes a season and they're 44 minutes long each, It's just like, come on, guys.
Yeah. For me, it's, oh, damn, dude, get some sleep. Jesus. Good gods. It's near midnight for him. Past midnight.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, go sleep, dude. Go sleep. We have rooms at the tavern. They're upstairs. Go find one. We'll cover you tonight. Damn. Yeah, so for some of the people who may not know, yeah, this stream is a D&D tavern.
Yes.
So, we have drinks, we have all kinds of fun things going down.
We have fireballs.
Yes, fireballs and all that other shit, because you guys are all pyros, I swear to the gods.
Sure. It's not your fault for making the easy fireball command.
Uh-huh. I need to be over here. You don't want to be there, but... Did everybody get hit with that?
Night, King Lazy.
My brain!
So is that worse when you're involved in a game like this, or is it better?
It is worse, because my brain is already distracted.
Yeah.
And so I can't focus on suppressing the reaction.
Okay. See, yeah, I was wondering which way the distraction would cut, if it would, help you not get hit as hard, like, oh, okay, I'm thoroughly focused on this, or if it would make it hit harder because you're kind of distracted.
It's hit harder because I'm kind of distracted. The only way it happens is if I am completely zoned into the game, but then I wouldn't be talking.
Right.
So I try my best not to do that on stream.
Yeah.
Because that would be bad.
But yeah, I'm trying to think of some other good examples of just classic television. Or, honestly, you mentioned the Tyranids before, and I keep thinking about this thing that I learned that I was going to share with you. Obviously, one of the inspirations for the Tyranids is the aliens from Alien.
Right.
But I think I have found a more direct inspiration for the Tyranids.
Okay, let's hear it.
There's a series of anthologies called Wild Cards, which is basically about a superhero universe that all kinds of sci-fi writers of various stripes have contributed stories to. The anthologies overall are edited by George R.R. Martin, the author of Game of Thrones. But it's a special superhero universe. Hey, AP.
AP's here. Hey.
AP. Hello. AP.
It's a special superhero universe where basically aliens are real. They use Earth to try and test a virus that will theoretically mutate their own people to give them super special abilities, but it kills like 95% of the people who get it. So they release it on Earth to see if it works, and it does. And basically a whole bunch of people die, but a whole bunch of people get superpowers.
Uh-oh.
So it's really cool that way.
Yeah, that's
Anyway.
the last thing we need is human beings with superpowers.
One of the threats they deal with in the later anthologies is something called the Swarm Mother. It's a vast alien creature that essentially moves through space. It comes to an area. It produces these, lesser life forms. Essentially, it's children, and it can genetically adapt them to whatever circumstances it needs to take over the planet and basically use it as food. It's almost exactly how the Tyranids operate, including like the different tiers of organisms. The Swarm Mother is very powerfully telepathic. It's like, holy shit, this is the Tyranids.
We should probably explain to the viewers what the Tyranids are.
I mean, yeah, I suppose the Tyranids are a ravenous alien horde faction from Warhammer 40k section. 40k universe?
Yeah, universe, yeah.
I'm not sure what I was going for there. and pulled section, but
If you've ever played StarCraft, the Zerg.
the Zerg are very much inspired by the Tyranids, yes.
Yeah, pretty much.
And I say inspired by in the sense that, AI art is inspired by copyrighted material.
Yeah, it's almost an exact copy, or it's pretty dang close. Oh man, I mean, I could give my description of what Tyranids are, but I also have my child running around, and I'm trying to get her to bed.
Might drive her to go to bed if you scare her bad enough.
I mean, that's true. Okay.
I like this gecko or iguana monster.
Oh yeah, the horned iguana. Yeah, he's a fun little guy. He shows up several times in the game.
He's adorable.
Oh yeah, he's one of the creatures that my wife refers to, Anne refers to as creepy cute, or cute.
Okay.
Some of the creatures in this game are creepy cute, and some of the creatures are just plain cute.
Okay.
And that's why she won't play 14.
And none of them are just creepy.
There are a couple that are straight up creepy, but they're few and far between.
Okay.
Alright, so let's talk about Tyranids. Oh boy. Alright. So, for those of you who are not educated on 40k, congratulations, welcome, you're about to get a small education. Everything in 40k is just redonkulous. Alright?
Yeah.
It's overpowered, it is stupidly insane, and, like, if you could imagine, like, the biggest, craziest shit with your imagination, 40k's got bigger.
Yeah, it was originally designed as satirical excess. It was funny, and then people forgot it was supposed to be funny and started taking it seriously.
Seriously, yeah, and that's a problem. Alright. So, say you're a human governor, which means you're in charge of a planet. Okay?
Okay, I'm a human governor. That means I'm in charge of a planet.
Alright. And, you're in charge of a planet, we gotta name this planet something. Planet You're Screwed. Okay? No, how about Planet Cheeseburger? We're calling it Planet Cheeseburger.
Planet Cheeseburger.
Alright? You're in charge of Planet Cheeseburger, alright? Now you're living your best life. You got, like, millions, if not billions of people who are slaving under you, barely existing.
Yep. All your little cheeseburglings.
Yeah, your cheeseburglings. And everything's going well. And then one day, your planet, somewhere on the world, suffers a horrific earthquake. Like, the largest one you've had on record. Alright? Mm-hmm. And so now you're dealing with that. And it's just, everything's gone to hell. You're like, oh shit, okay, we're gonna work on this. Then you start getting reports that the local flora and fauna have started to act strange. like local flora and fauna, like the local fauna have gotten bigger. You see images of them in the distance where they have extra limbs that they shouldn't. But you're like, oh, it's probably some sort of story from, the poor masses who can't tell, a dog from a coyote or whatever. Fuck them. Not important.
Yeah.
Right? Then, suddenly, your communication is cut off. And you can't contact any other planet. Alright? You don't know what's going on, so on and so forth. So you decide, screw it, let's send a scout ship out to the neighboring planet and see if they can't, go get some help from all these disasters, maybe find out what's going on, so on and so forth. So you send that scout ship out. You never hear from them again. They're gone. Alright? So, that's gone down. Well, then suddenly, giant spires start erupting from the earth. Alright? And they are like skyscraper tall. And they start releasing spores into the air. just clouding your atmosphere in them, almost choking people to death. All right? And at this point, the local fauna, the reports you've gotten of them, have now proven accurate. They are much bigger than they should be. They are highly more aggressive. And there is way more of them than there should be. All right? Like, it is insane. You're like sitting there going, okay, like, how are there this many animals? There weren't even this many animals on the planet before. What is going on? So you send your soldiers out to defend your people, you know, wait until help arrives, things of that nature. Suddenly, your soldiers start shooting each other. And you don't know why. You're giving them orders like, shoot that direction, and they start turning guns on each other. And basically just murder and death on a scale that is beyond your comparison. Alright? Then we finally get to the point where the actual bug creatures start showing up. And they cover the entire field as far as your eye can see from your tower. Alright? You can't even see the ground anymore. They are everywhere. Alright? And your poor army is getting torn to shreds. You are not having a good day. Alright?
Yeah.
And just as they're about to breach your final bunker and all that jazz, you see a massive creature descend from the sky, grabbing a hold of your planet and starting to eat any corpse that's on the ground, whether it's these creatures or your soldiers. And the only thing you have left is just to die.
Yeah. Nom nom.
That is a Tyranid invasion. It is terrifying.
Yeah, it's amazing the number of factions in 40K that are essentially living apocalypses.
Yeah.
By the way, ad break in 1 minute.
Alright. My favorite's still the orcs. I love orcs.
Yeah.
Like the Yumis.
I'm trying to keep a better eye on the ad breaks so we don't, like, exclude anybody from the conversation.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Alright.
But, yeah, Ruby and I are both Warhammer 40K players and fans, but we don't take it seriously.
It's satire, man. It's meant to be a joke. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. You're not supposed to admire the Imperium. They're bad. Everybody's bad.
Just what flavor of bad?
Right.
I'm a fan of the Tau. I love the fact that I'm running around with giant mech suits and Gundams and shit. That just makes me happy.
And ad break now.
Yep. I know you're a Blood Angels fan.
Yeah, I as a matter of fact, I did some more painting today. I'm slowly making progress, getting back into the habit of painting just a little bit each day. That will make me, just do it more often.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, those are cool looking, too.
Yes.
Like,
go ahead.
Giant horned owl things.
Yeah, so in each expansion, there's kind of a theme that goes with it. With Heaven's Ward, which is the first expansion, it's humanoids versus dragons.
Okay.
And then also a corrupt church, because welcome to JRPGs. They really hate religion.
Yeah.
So, that's a thing. Then the next one was Stormblood, which was welcome to Japan. Mm-hmm. Essentially. Like, greetings from Weebland. Essentially. It's all those weird Japanese stereotypes. Just en masse.
Right.
And also about a rebellion.
Okay.
So there is that. This is Shadowbringers, which was the next one. And the premise of Shadowbringers was, in almost every RPG you have the bad guys representing darkness. You know, like they're always
Right.
using dark powers, or they're, you know, everything's dark and shadowy and shit.
Sure.
This is a world where the light has become so overpowered and so infectious that it is the bad guy.
Okay.
So that's why all the enemies, if you hadn't noticed their names, they're all like, forgiven this. So like these guys are forgiven thievery, the gorilla guys are forgiven violence, the little coyote looking dude there is forgiven flattery.
Okay.
So it's all, the light is infectious and causing problems, and you are now, instead of the warrior of light, like, you know, most Final Fantasy does, you're now the warrior of darkness.
Okay.
And you're bringing balance to the world. Which, I love it. I love this idea. It was cool as hell when they first released it.
Sure. We are back from ads, by the way.
Awesome. Because the big thing with this expansion, the Shadowbringers expansion, is any area where you bring the area back into balance, instead of it constantly being daytime and all that jazz, the people actually get to see the stars and the night
Aw.
sky.
That's nice.
Something they have not seen, in this case, in several generations.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's neat. It's neat to see that effect over an area, because you see the light infected area first, and you're like, oh, okay, this is kind of neat. And, you know, it's never dark here. I guess that was, you know, when I first saw it, I was like, oh, it's a corner cutting measure. You know, they don't have to render this place at night.
Yeah, don't have to do the day-night cycle.
Yeah. Then I found out it's actually a lore thing, and once you bring back balance, the day-night cycle comes back.
Very cool.
And it's nice to be the person to cause that effect. So I love Shadowbringers. It was a very well done expansion, and it has by far and away my favorite Final Fantasy villain.
They brought back Kefka?
No. Kefka has never been my favorite villain.
Aw.
Like, he's a good villain, don't get me wrong. Never has been my favorite.
Okay.
Before I played 14 in this expansion, I would say my favorite had been Kuja from 9.
Okay.
And the reason why I liked Kuja so much was because his reasoning for being a villain made sense to me. Because originally he was just following orders. He was doing
Right.
what he was told. And then at the end of the game, he quickly goes, oh, I'm literally been made to be discarded immediately. And he doesn't like that. He goes, he wanted to live a normal, simple life, and he was denied that. And so he kills the guy who made him to do that, and then decides, hey, guess what? If I'm not allowed to have a full and complete life, no one is.
Okay.
Which,
Hello, corpulent koala.
hey, Koala, how you doing? Oh, I love the little spinny dudes.
As I was
Those are
trying to
cool.
tell you, there are no bullets left in this
I'll
gun,
grab a
see?
shout out while you're busy.
Oh, yeah, thank
fighting.
you. I appreciate it when you do this, man. I do appreciate the, what's good, bro? I am fighting a 3-headed dog that looks like it came out of Mayan hell.
That middle head looks like a baboon.
Yeah, it does.
So this is like a variant chimera almost.
Yep. Oh, excuse me.
Oh, one of your friends died.
Yeah, that happens. That was the Black Mage. Black Mages are usually not the ones who die the most often in this game. That would be, it's kind of a meme now, Dragoons.
Okay.
The dragon died again.
Yeah, it's like, oh no, the Dragoon died again. He was... The reason behind that is, like the older Final Fantasies, Dragoons have that jump attack.
Uh-huh.
And the problem is, a lot of Dragoons don't realize when you jump, where you jump from is what counts as where you get hit.
Okay.
Not where you jump to, like hitting the target.
Okay.
All right. So now, why am I saying that? Well, if you hadn't noticed, there's AoEs in this game.
Yep.
There's a lot of them.
Yep.
What happens if you jump and an AoE spawns where you originally jumped from?
Yeah, you're screwed.
Yeah. It doesn't go well. Corporeal Claw was playing Modern Warfare 3. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy the Modern Warfare games. They're fun games. I just never enjoyed the multiplayer of them. Mainly because I'm just... How do I put it? I'm not into PvP.
PvP makes me tense.
Yeah, it brings out the worst in me, to be brutally honest. I become a horrible person with PvP.
Yeah.
And I don't like doing that.
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah. Because, like, I quickly want to just be the person that's like, even if I'm losing, I just want to hurt you.
Yep. It's one of the reasons I don't tend to play Munchkin a lot, is that it tends to get very cutthroat very quickly.
Yeah.
This is a problem I sometimes have with 40k or when I play Magic. I have two modes that I can play a game in. I can play it friendly, or I can play it competitive. The two are mutually exclusive. So if you're going to play competitively, I'm going to destroy you. I'm sorry, that's just how it is.
Yeah, you're going to make your mission to basically break them.
But I don't like that side of myself, so given my options, I will prefer to play for fun.
Yeah, that's what I try to do. My biggest issue I've noticed when I play competitively is I start using all the psychological warfare tricks I learned when I was in the Air Force.
Okay.
Which is not a good thing.
No, when you're doing psyops on your opponent, that's...
Don't do that. No. I don't like doing that, and it's... Oh, man. Oh.
If you ever waterboard someone over a game of Monopoly, you've gone too far.
I don't think I'd be able to pull that off. No, it's just, oh man. But no, the game that actually brings it out the worst in me, to be brutally honest, is actually a game that it doesn't seem competitive, but it feels competitive in my brain.
Okay.
Chess.
Ah.
I pull out every psychological trick I have because if I'm going to be really honest, that's how I used to win against my dad and my uncle Andre.
Mm-hmm.
And my grandfather, who all were really good at chess.
Hello, hey, Pioneer Girl.
Yep. Howdy! Welcome to the tavern. Golem will take your order somewhere over there. I'm not sure where. The little buggers are running around somewhere. Alright, we're at level 84. 6 more levels to go. What do you got on tap? We have various ales, meads. If you're into alcohol, if you're not into alcohol, we have various juices, some sodas. We also have an endless supply of, spring water that's coming out of a magical device. We have grog. We have endless grog, to be precise. But the problem with our endless grog is it served in one mug, and I'm not sure when the last time that mug was ever cleaned. So, I'll go something alcoholic. Awesome. I have a wondrous drink around here somewhere called Ambrosia. And what it is it's a very sweet drink. And if you drink it once, for the first time you drink it, you get to add 1 to 4 days to the end of your life. It expands your lifespan 1 to 4 days.
Very nice.
Yeah. I was given a more potent recipe that did 1 to 4 years, but then I realized I had people stealing it out of my reserve, and that was kind of bad. Like, that's not good.
Let me see. I'm gonna rearrange this later.
Anne wants me to remind everyone that she is the cook, not the dishwasher. That's currently a golem. somewhere back there.
Mm-hmm.
I gave it 6 arms, and unfortunately, it's still slow as fuck.
Well, 6 armed is 6 warned.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to improve that later. We also have like plenty of little snackish foods, you know, like nuts, berries, fruits, a couple meat dishes. Anything that's labeled dragon or phoenix is not actually dragon and phoenix. Just want to point that out there. It's just the spicy variant of that animal.
I mean, if you had like a fried phoenix restaurant, could you essentially just get 1 phoenix and that would be your entire meat supply forever?
Yeah, but then there's the problem that everybody would start turning evil because phoenixes have an intelligence score high enough to count as cannibalism.
Sure, but they don't necessarily know what they're eating. You don't have to tell them. You could just tell them it's chicken.
Well,
then they're not knowingly consuming an intelligent being, so their alignment would remain constant.
Oh god, it's Ravana. Oh boy. This guy. He's not a hard fight. He's just, I really like him as a summon. He is the, how do I put this? The game calls them Eidolons, or,
Yep.
whatever they're called. I forget what the other name is. Primals. He is the primal of law and justice and this ant colony.
Neat. Looks like General Grievous.
Yeah, kind of. Kind of does the same kind of fighting style, too. Except not so much spinning blades. I was going to say chicken or turkey, maybe. Well, if you order the Phoenix version, that's the spicy version of chicken or turkey. I do say that somewhere in the back, we have what is called the never-ending beef supply. Would you like to know where it came from?
Is it a cow wearing a ring of regeneration?
No, it is a troll that I have polymorphed into a cow. What? Why waste a good magical item on a cow when I can literally just polymorph permanently a cow? Troll.
So you are serving meat from sentient beings, is what I'm hearing.
Well, no, it was the spell Baleful Polymorph, so technically it's no longer sentient.
So how does it still regenerate?
I am not entirely certain how it kept its regeneration factor, but it did.
Okay.
It's just a happy little accident.
So it was a once intelligent being that you robbed of its intelligence,
Yes.
and then served to people.
Yes.
So that's less evil.
Yeah, it's less evil. Hey, I never said I was a good person. Damn. What do you want from me, man?
I'm just clarifying the parameters.
Gonna be working, also supporting another stream as well. That's A-okay. We appreciate works here.
Oh boy, Ant Boy got some bigger swords.
Yeah, he combined his 4 small swords into 2 big swords. And they're also fiery. I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want it. Oh, ow, ow, burn. Thank you. Oh, wait, I'm not sure if you... Yeah, you guys probably can't hear the theme. If you ever get a chance, we expect perfection. Yep. If you ever get a chance, look up Ravana's theme for 14.
Okay.
Because it is gorgeous. It has 2... Every primal has 2... I don't want to call it stanzas, but essentially the music comes in 2 phases.
Mm-hmm.
The first phase for Ravana is gorgeous. The second phase, it's not great. But it has very much a, how do I put it? Like, it feels like you're in an insect hive.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. I love it. Oh, the other tank is a paladin, so of course he's going to be eating all that damage for me. That's fine. I don't mind being the angry boy that's just killing all the butterflies that are being problematic. Because if we don't kill him fast enough, he gets off an ability that basically kills everybody instantly.
Yeah, you wouldn't want that. Gotta do your exterminator duty.
Oh, here we go. You remember those two big-ass swords? Well, they're back. Now he's going Darth Maul.
Duel of the Fates. Oh.
But no, you want a great cutscene for this game? Ravana's first appearance cutscene is actually really cool. Because you get to watch two primals fight each other.
Nice.
And it is a really cool fight. It's Shiva versus him.
Okay. I'm a big fan of Shiva from back in the day.
This game, Shiva, I like her design, her first design. There is a second design that was released during Shadowbringer, and I love the second design so much more.
Okay.
Because she's looking like she's wearing armor, instead of like a frickin' teddy.
Right.
Which was kind of annoying. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm all for female characters looking hot and sexy and shit. But, like, if you're going to get into a fight and you're not predominantly a caster or far-range character, I want you in armor.
Yeah.
Like, please.
I'm debating whether or not to add a hive of emerald bees, but I think I'm okay for emerald production as is.
Anne has wanted to remind people that she goes, do not piss off the cook or you'll meet Mr. Rolly, a.k.a. don't make me get the kitchen bat.
Rolling pin.
Yeah, the rolling pin of death. She has
Mr. Rolling.
She has a magical rolling pin that can and will hurt you. She also has a frying pan that is perpetually on fire. You know, it's, cooking on its own constantly. Makes cooking a lot faster. Alright, main scenario. Let's see which main scenario quest I get. Do I get Crazy Psycho Lady as the final boss, or do I get Cutscene the Dungeon? But no, I was talking about Shadowbringers earlier, my favorite villain. I got sidetracked. Emmett Selk is his name.
Okay.
He is an older gentleman. He has like a big white streak through his hair, kind of like Cruella de Vil. In fact, while I'm waiting for this thing to kick in, I will at least see if I can find a picture of him real quick for you. And his voice actor did an amazing job. Like, hands down. Alright, I found an image. Alright, I'm going to send it to you on Discord.
Okay.
So you get an idea of who I'm talking about. This is the guy I'm talking about.
Okay.
And then if you want a more up-close look at his face, I would say... let's see. Can I find a decent picture of him that doesn't make him... Oh, yeah, that works. how he looks at the party 9 times out of 10. Because he actually sides with you for a while.
Uh-huh.
He actually travels with you, helps you, and all that jazz. And every time you try to do something good to help people, he gives you that look. Like, really? like, these morons. It's great. He's, how do I put it? He's a magical Barton Kendo. Like, he comes off as very much how you played Barton Kendo.
Okay.
Where he's always got, like, a plan, he's always got, like, a backup plan and doing all kinds of stuff, but he's also got that, like, snide, kind of sarcastic tone to everyone.
Well, I don't think Barton was snide and sarcastic to people.
You were to the villains.
I was to the villains.
That's what I'm talking about. Like, people who were against you.
Yeah, but usually only once we'd won.
Yeah. Well, in his mind, he's already won the whole time. because his special ability, one of his group's special ability is you can't permanently kill them.
Mm-hmm.
They will always come back, usually possessing someone else. He has figured out a different trick that is terrifying. He started the whole Garlean Empire, which is this big Magitech group that we're fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we're fighting Psycho Bitch. Yay! He started this empire in order to build up his power necessary to accomplish his long-term goal, which is to wake up his god and bring back all of his dead friends.
Right.
All right, which is a laudable goal. Don't get me wrong.
As I was trying to tell you, there are no bullets left in this gun, you see?
Hey, the
I mean,
NB King.
just look at you. You look like the
I'll grab
oasis
the-
to some
the
very,
Esso.
very thirsty travelers.
And hey, Angel Woman.
Metaphor makes me uncomfortable.
So anyway, one of the things he helped develop was he is the grandfather, or I should say the patriarch, of the ruling family of that empire. And he lets his children rule in the forefront, while he controls from the shadows.
Mm-hmm.
His shtick is that he has clones of himself in the basement of their empire's castle.
Nice.
And anytime he dies, since the clones can't have a soul or personality, he just possesses the next clone.
Yeah. Makes it nice and consistent. Maintain your same physical appearance.
Yep. And they all look exactly like him, and he doesn't age at all until someone basically kills his ass.
Yeah. Pretty good setup.
Yeah. Now, later on in Endwalker, it turns out you actually work with him again, just an older, in the past version of him. And he's actually not a terrible guy. He's just really focused on doing his job.
Right.
And he's really amazing at it. But there are a lot of people who have how do I want to put it? There are several fans that refer to him often as Goth Daddy.
Yeah.
For
That's fantastic.
obvious reasons.
I'll be honest, the first thing I thought of when I saw him, I have recently been exposed... Are you talking about Emmett Selk?
Yes, we are talking about Emmett Selk, Angel Woman. The fact that I said Goth Daddy and she knew exactly what I was talking about.
Yeah. Just yesterday, I was watching just some random YouTube stuff with a couple of friends of mine, and one of the streams that they brought up was a video of a guy essentially opening action figures, and he was wearing like this makeup, and I was like, who is this guy? And you know, basically did some digging and found out there's this wrestler, and his makeup is somewhat reminiscent of Sting, if you know Sting.
Yep, I remember Sting.
But his name is Danhausen, and his gimmick is that he's basically his wrestling persona is that he's a nice evil guy who puts curses on the people that he fights, and he's always got this grin on his face. And I just went down this rabbit hole. Like, his IMDb page has this great picture of him that looks like a final boss mime, because he's got the makeup on, and he's got this black turtleneck on, and he's holding his hands in a weird way. He has a website, you know, Danhausen's website. It looks like something straight out of the 90s. It's got, like, you know, animated GIFs as the background tile wallpaper.
Oh my
It's
God.
got a web counter that is permanently set to 666. It's just the best sort of comedy wrestling, you know, shtick I could imagine. And he's almost always in character, and he does this little voice, and I think what I said is it reminded me of the little bat Bartok from the Anastasia movie.
Oh my God.
Oh sure, blame the bat. What the heck? We're easy targets. And it just sounds like this accent that he's doing, but what he's been described as by people is if Conan O'Brien was possessed by a demon.
I love it. No.
Eh.
Angel Woman, by the way, is a massive fan of Emmett Selk.
Okay.
Like that. She pointed that out. It's like, I love him. Like, yeah.
Crush your enemies. See
Can
them
you give a
driven
quick
before
shout
you.
out? Oh no, I already did
Lamentation
shout out
of
to
the
Pioneer
women.
Girl. She's just playing some check-ins.
Oh, and of course, Pioneer Girl did my favorite sound effect. Conan, what is best in life?
We have an ad break coming up in just under 3.
Yep.
But yeah, just Danhausen, which is I think his actual last name. His full name is Donovan Danhausen.
You'll
But
have
just
to send me a link, man. I gotta see this shit.
yeah, just amazing.
Oh my god.
And so he's the first thing that I thought of when I saw the picture. Let's see.
Now, mind you, when you fight Emmett Selk, he looks very different.
Sure.
I was gonna say, if you want to get an idea of what he looks like, by the way, who are you playing with or talking to? Who I'm talking to is Candid Gamera. He's kind of my friend. I've known him for quite some time. And
Yes.
we do Tabletop Tuesday together, and we talk about the nerd shit.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Look
Talk
up.
about the nerd.
Don't look up Emmett Selk for the fight. Look up Final Fantasy XIV Hades. The form he
Okay.
takes is Hades, because that's his title, is Hades. And to give you an idea, he is a caster boss.
Okay.
So lots of spells, all the time with him. Yep. Oh, Pioneer Girl says, hey!
Howdy, howdy.
Yeah, his Hades form is really nice. I never beat it in its hard form because every time I went to go try to do that, I got a really bad group. The last group I had that basically I went to go fight it, they yelled at me for being a gunbreaker and not a paladin.
Okay.
And they had certain rules with their group, which I always thought was dumb as hell. Because the way loot works in this game, it's not by class. It is
Right.
by role.
Right.
So, like, it's tank gear. Tank gear is tank gear. It doesn't matter if you're a gunbreaker or a warrior. It's the same shit. But
Right.
they had a rule which was only one player per class.
Okay.
You couldn't have two of the same class. I'm like, okay. I mean, that's fair. It's kind of dumb, but it does limit your pool quite a bit. But whatever, if that's your thing. And then the other thing they got on my case was they said, Gunbreaker is too squishy of a tank. You really should just go and level Paladin if you ever want to be a real tank. And I'm like, fucking excuse me?
Yep.
Like, I'm sorry, you don't pay my sub. Piss off.
And belatedly, hello to you, Pioneer Girl.
Yep.
Was doing some tabbed lookups.
Oh yeah. So what do you think of the Hades design?
I am looking now.
Oh, okay.
I was looking up the Danhausen stuff to send to you.
Oh, ad break.
Yes. All right, let's see.
You can give your opinion once the ad break's done.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me.
Okay, so is Hades the monster form with
Yeah.
the big purple crystal-y thing?
Yeah, with all the masks on his cape.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Hades.
Okay.
Yeah, well, you got the right guy.
All right, we're less than 50 seconds from ad break termination.
Yeah, Angel Woman says, yes, that is him. Oh, wow. Oh, excuse me, well, my lungs give out. Damn. Yeah, I was gonna say, Gamera, if you ever wanted to pick up an MMO, I would say try the free version of this game. It's worth at least a free version.
Well, I mean, I do have City of Heroes back now.
Yeah, which is true. I'm glad they brought that back.
Yeah, maybe I'll talk about that a minute after we get into some stuff, but... And we're back!
And we're back! Welcome back, everyone!
Yes, the Emmett Selch Hades form is pretty cool looking. Is the amethyst purple thing that he's holding just the weapon, or is that part of the body?
Both, technically.
Okay.
It's a staff.
Yeah.
But it's also part of him.
Okay.
Because primals are weird like that.
It looks just like an incredibly dangerous marital aid.
It is a weapon, yes, but also, like, they pointed out, the weapons on all the primals and the Ascians are still also part of them.
Okay. Basically constructed from their essence, but not necessarily a contiguous part of the body.
Yeah, that is correct.
He is holding it in his hand. He could theoretically set it down.
Yeah, it actually, if he sets it down, it disappears.
Ah, okay. Well, you know, that also makes perfect sense.
Yeah, it unforms from him if he lets it down for too long.
For too long.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if he's dropping it, like you knocked it out of his hand, or like he's setting it down because you kicked his ass, it disintegrates.
Right.
But if he himself puts it down, he can keep it going for a while.
Right.
It's one of those things he has to actively do it. And there's Sid. Sid, the freaking also pyro. He's overcharging the cannon, and he grins the whole goddamn time. Goddamn AP with the fireballs. I was trying to keep my tavern from being on fire.
Ba-dum-bum.
And now it's time for Psycho Lady, aka Livia Sass Junius. Oh, this lady is something else. Oh my god, you are right. I just saw the picture of the Danhausen. What the fuck?
The expression on his face, the way he's holding his hands.
I love it.
Like I said,
I love it.
Final boss mime.
Yep, final boss mime. That. Oh my god, that is wild.
And
yeah.
Above that, I linked to his website, which is, like I said, 90s retro awesome.
So her big thing, for those who don't know, is she's obsessed with the leader of the organization that's invading the countries you're defending.
Mm-hmm.
All right? And she's like, everything about him is hers, and the fact that you're getting in his way basically infuriates her to the point where only your death will bring her peace.
Right.
She is 100% grade A batshit psycho. Hey, guys, all right, guys, time for me to head out for job number 3 for today. Oh, damn, Gibbon, good luck. Yeah, I don't think there's many fans of this game who have, like, this character. I just don't... She's always been a problem.
Yeah.
Some of the other Garleans have been entertaining and fun, but not her. Well, when I'm done in 6 hours, that'll be 30 plus awake for me. Oh my god. Get some sleep, dude. Christ. God's almighty.
Absolutely.
My brother in Odin. Rest. Like, I don't think people realize this, but you do understand that after 3 days on being awake solid, you will actually start to hallucinate.
Yeah, I've never gone that long myself, but that's true. The things we do for family.
Yep. Oh, trust me, I get it, dude. I've gone that long, and yes, after 3 days, I started to hallucinate. I will fully admit that. I was seeing shit. But by the time I was done my whole shtick, which was way longer than it should have been, like, I went to bed Friday night, I want to say. I didn't wake up until Sunday afternoon.
Yeah. Now, I take it back. With 30 hours, I might have done once in college. I think I remember basically being up so late playing Diablo 2 that I was just like, I might as well just stay up because otherwise I'll go to sleep and really throw off my sleep schedule. So I might have done 2 full days in a row.
Yeah.
But that's probably the extent of it. Yep. Catch you later, Think Gibbon.
Yeah, get some sleep.
But yeah, to cycle back to City of Heroes for a moment, since that came up during the ad break. Yeah, my favorite MMO. Basically, it shut down in 2012, I believe. November 2012. And it had been up for 8.5 years. It was still profitable. But the company that owned it, NCSoft, wanted to refocus their resources on Guild Wars 2, which I believe is still their flagship one.
Yep.
And so they shut it down. And about, I think, 2019, it came out that someone had snuck the source code for the game out the door. Basically, between 2012 and 2019, the only thing that really had survived of the game was, I believe someone had put together a way that if you still had the install on your hard drive, you could go into the character creator. That way you could do like superhero costume design with their costume designer, which was really cool. But like I said, in 2019, it came out that someone had essentially smuggled out the source code and that there were private instances of City of Heroes being run, and one of them basically got in some kind of kerfuffle with the rights holder that year and got shut down. But as a result of that, the source code got more widely disseminated, and so you had several semi-official successor groups go, you know what, we're going to start running our own City of Heroes server, and we're not going to be so private and cliquish about it. And honestly, NCSoft didn't really do anything. They didn't like make moves to shut down any of those. But one of the groups, the one that ran a server called Homecoming, well, I say server, it actually had, I think, 4 or 5 instanced servers on it, mostly in Canada, but one in Europe. They reached out to NCSoft basically the first year they were up and said, hey, we understand we're making use of your intellectual property. We'd love to have a license to do that. Is there any way we could, basically license the property from you so we don't have to worry about any kind of legalities or takedowns? And this past week, basically NCSoft and Homecoming announced that they had reached an accord. So this is, I can't think of another instance of this happening where essentially you have an MMO that goes completely dark and then a third party says, hey, we'll run that. And the original rights holder goes, okay.
Yeah, sure, have it. I just saw this, by the way, come across my feed real quick. The game theorists are retiring.
Okay.
Matt Pat is now retiring from YouTube.
Interesting. Did he give a reason?
He just wants to spend more time with his wife and kids.
Okay.
Like, he's done it for, like, a while, and now he's just like, I'm done. I need to stop.
Honestly, that's been a kind of a trend lately, because Tom Scott, who had been doing, like, weekly uploads for 10 years, is going to a more relaxed schedule, not necessarily a full retirement, but stepping away. Joel Haver, who had done, I think, multiple uploads a week for 5 years, is basically stepping back to do more long-form projects, but on a more irregular schedule. So lots of people stepping back from YouTube, like JoeCat, we talked about last week.
Yeah.
But, I'm so happy that City of Heroes is official. I honestly, in 2019, I'd gotten into Homecoming. I played it up until 2021-ish sometime. Late 2021, and then I it got me through the pandemic quite a bit.
Which is good.
And then I just fell off of it, got out of the habit. I'm going to do a shout out for Jolly Jane here.
I was going to say, make sure to get the check-in done.
But yeah, just the idea of a MMO coming back from the dead. And here's the interesting thing for me about that announcement. Not only are they licensed to continue running the servers, they're licensed to
just
develop
look at you. You
new
look like the oasis
content.
to some
Which is
very,
nice.
very thirsty travelers.
Not only is it nice, it's
Metaphor
crazy
makes me
unheard of.
uncomfortable.
They had been developing like modest new content, like not nearly the pace when it was a paid game, but they're officially licensed to do that. That's really cool. So yeah, I'm just so excited about this. I may not play it a whole lot, but it is very comforting to me personally to be able to log in, go to one of my cool superheroes that I've played around with, and just go knock some heads. I truly believe that City of Heroes is almost completely unique in the MMO space.
One game I'd like to see them bring back then, if they're going to keep doing this, it's a third-person shooter that was an MMO called Firefall.
Okay, yeah, I've heard of it.
Really well done, but the problem with it was its gameplay loop needed some tweaking.
Uh-huh.
Like, if they had just tweaked the gameplay loop to be a little bit more interactive, I feel like it would have been better.
Sure.
But it had a decent story. The maps were being developed fairly well. The game classes were interesting, and you could change between them in town, which was always cool.
Uh-huh.
So, I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing that one come back.
Sure, yeah. I mean, if this were to set a precedent where other old MMOs could come back, that would be fantastic. But like I said, this one was, I think, unique. I never have played another MMO where it was so comfortable to essentially solo 95% of the game. Most MMOs have an emphasis on like this raid content where you have to group up, and City of Heroes has some of those. But the other thing is, and this relates to what you were talking about earlier about being criticized for playing a gunbreaker. In City of Heroes, there's a good deal of slack in terms of what you need to be able to do in the bosses. It's not super tight, like, oh, you've got to have all your builds perfectly spec'd out. There's room for someone who doesn't know how to play their character well. There's room for suboptimal builds. So you have a lot less of that MMO culture of going, well, you built this? I don't even want you in my group. Get away. That bullshit.
One of the things I'm really happy that Final Fantasy XIV does is it bans mods. Because there are some games I feel should not be modded.
Sure.
And that is multiplayer games. Especially if not everybody can have mods. So, like, for example, MMOs, definitely no mods. Because what I experienced with MMOs and mods was what happened with World of Warcraft. Suddenly, DPS meters are everywhere. Every Deadly Boss mods is there, and I'm not sure if you ever talked to, Matt about this. Did he ever give you his opinion on deadly boss mods?
Not specifically, no.
He hates the hell out of it. Because it essentially says, hey, here's how to play the game. There's no learning how to beat the boss. It's, this is how you beat the boss.
Yeah, I think the only mods I remember using in my World of Warcraft days were basically the ones that helped you with the auction house.
Yeah, there's that. But no,
Other than that, yeah, I didn't really.
Yeah, in 14 people do use mods anyway, but it's mostly visual mods, I've noticed.
Yep.
It's very rarely anything that affects other people.
Oh, yeah, I had in World of Warcraft, I had like some mod that let you rearrange the UI, I think.
Yeah, I don't mind UI mods. I don't mind visual mods. The ones I have issues with are DPS meters and essentially raid guides, essentially. Because like one guy proved it with deadly boss mods in World of Warcraft during, I want to say Kata is when he did it. He built an AI that played the game on autopilot. Using deadly boss mods as what it needs to do.
Okay.
And it ended up doing better than most hardcore raiders did.
Yep. Fantastic.
So, like, that is proof of me right there to go, no, things like that need to be banned. Permanently. Gone.
God damn, something turned my beekeeper into a witch. I don't know how he got struck by lightning when he was inside. I'll have to make a new beekeeper later.
I could see close mods for 14. Those aren't terrible. I wouldn't have issues with those. Because once again, that's a visual thing. That is not changing the gameplay.
As far as I am aware, City of Heroes, the only quote-unquote mod that someone made was basically there was a map mod that essentially you could run in a second screen or like in a tabbed window. That was basically... There's in-game maps, obviously, but these map mods had the location of like badges and things that you could get. So that way it was easier to hunt for them.
I could see that. I'm really getting tired of this dragon running around and not letting me hit it.
Well, you should explain your feelings to the dragon, and maybe he'll stand still and let you hit him.
Oh, man.
There are also applications for City of Heroes that weren't mods, but like character theory builder ones, where you could say, okay, I want to build a tank, I want to take it up to level 30, here's, I'm picking these power sets. That way you could figure out, okay, here's what my numbers are going to look like if I choose this path. So I guess it was geared towards at least making you have informed choices when you were planning out a character.
I wouldn't count that as bad.
Honestly, the respecs are fairly easy to get in City of Heroes, so even if you screwed up your character somehow, it's not that bad.
Yeah, but the ability just to theory craft can sometimes be fun.
Oh yeah, I love theory crafting.
So that's why I would say I don't have much of a problem with that. Like, Star Wars had that as a website where you could get on the website and just theory craft character builds. You could pick out the gear, you could pick out, like, what kind of talents you picked, all that jazz. And you can come up with all kinds of kooky ideas.
Yeah.
And it was nice. I liked it. It was fun. I have no problem with that. But if I was going to say there's any one site that, if I were to say this for any one site in gaming that needs to seriously just fuck off and die in a fiery pit, it is elitist jerks.
Yeah. Every
person who helped maintain that site seriously just needs to be taken out into a field and shot. Fuck every one of them.
Honestly, it's a very aptly titled website.
It is an aptly titled website, but, like, they're the reason why WoW got so toxic.
Yeah.
They are the biggest reason for that. Hands down. Because they're like, oh, we have all the numbers you need. We know the perfect builds. If you don't pick our builds, you're stupid. It's like, excuse me? Fuck off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It just,
honestly,
oh my God, that aggravated me.
And that even relates to like tabletop and stuff. Telling other people how to have fun is generally not a good idea. The only exception to that rule is if they're having fun in a way that destroys the fun of, multiple other people.
Right.
Like, if it's the guy that's going, "Oh, I have to play my character the way my character would act, and he'd be a total dickhead to all of you," that's not the same thing. You can tell that guy how to have fun, and it's to tell him to go fuck himself.
Yeah. Excuse me, sir. Probably go fuck yourself. Angel Woman goes, there are some people in 14 who are like that. Yeah, they exist in every game. Like I was telling with the whole Hades story. I had a group that basically told me what class to play, what gear I should have, all that jazz. And I looked at them and went, nah, I'm good. Thanks. Especially due to the fact that, the healer in the group sucked.
Mm-hmm.
She barely did DPS, and I was just like, you do understand that in a, high-end raid, you still have to do a fair portion of DPS or we all die. Because of the enrage timer.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, and you're yelling at me because I am playing a class that just does not have as much damage mitigation as essentially your boyfriend does, who is playing a warrior. And I even looked at her as like, hey, look, the only two tanks I have at max level right now are Gunbreaker and Warrior. If you don't like my Gunbreaker, I can play a Warrior. But you won't let me play a Warrior because your significant other, who is the main tank, is a Warrior.
Mm-hmm.
So either bend your rule about more than one class, or, accept the fact that I'm a Gunbreaker.
Yep.
Alright, I need to find a critter. Oh, hi there. Because I can't hit him. I don't have the effect. There it is. Hi there. Come here. This is one of those unfortunate bosses that if you don't have a certain ghostly effect, you're kind of fucked.
Yep.
Come here. Did I say you could run away?
All right, just a heads up there for you, Ruby. It is about 11 minutes till 9 o'clock.
Yep. I will finish this raid and then probably call it a stream and raid out. I'll have to find out who I have to raid out to here shortly. Can I click on that? Thank you.
It's been really cool having the raid train folks join us. And we've got an ad break in about 5 minutes.
Alright, give me a second. One moment, dude.
I have a question. On the ad break warning, I see a snooze button. Does that mean I can delay the ad break, or am I just snoozing the alert?
You can snooze the ad break up to 3 times.
Okay. I will keep that in mind. My mod powers are unlimited!
Yes, yes they are. Oh, jump, damn it.
Jump!
Jump, you shit.
Unlimited modly power. Itty bitty living space.
Oh, yeah. Unlimited cosmic power. Itty bitty living space.
Alright, is this the big boss of this raid?
Nope.
One more beyond it?
You see all the little question marks on the right side? That's how many zones I still have.
Oh boy.
Why did my screen go black? Oh, there it goes.
On this for a while.
Yeah. Luckily, this goes by pretty quick. So I wouldn't worry about it.
Okay. I will snooze the ad break if we get close to it. If you're still grinding away.
Oh yeah. Like I said, this raid is usually pretty quick, but I don't think I'm gonna finish it in 10 minutes.
Okay.
I will say that. As soon as I am at the point where I can get away, then yeah, I probably will raid out.
Okay.
I might not get to finish the raid. On stream, anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I do enjoy the City of Heroes group activities, but it is nice, like I said, to just be able to play 95% of the game solo, and just have fun.
I'm kind of the same way when it comes to Star Trek Online. You can do you can do the majority of that game single player.
I will say I enjoyed that one.
But I'll also say even the multiplayer, you don't have to worry about talking much.
Yeah.
It's pretty quick.
My main beef with Star Trek as an MMO was the ground missions.
Yeah, those were always bad.
I just could never get to where I could enjoy those. And to be fair, I played the game for like less than a year. Maybe they've improved them.
Not by much, I'll say. I've been playing for quite some time.
Fair.
And I will be brutally honest, the ground missions always need more work.
I did like the space combat though. That was a high point.
Yeah, space combat is done beautifully well. I will say that. God damn. Alright, we got that. Alright. We're getting to the last boss, I believe.
Okay. Well, ad break is 40 seconds out, so I'm going to go ahead and hit the snooze button.
I'd say
I think.
let it go off.
Okay.
Let it go, because this boss fight will take a while. It'll take at least more than a minute.
Okay. You just let the ad happen then.
Yeah, let the ad happen, and then when they come back, I'll be in the middle of the boss fight, and then we'll raid out once the boss fight's done.
Sounds good.
Yep. Where's C?
All right.
C is over there. Okay.
Yes, brace yourselves.
I'll let your ad happen.
As I was trying to tell you, there are no bullets left in this gun.
I'll do a quick shout out for Black Falcon.
Yep. Oh, someone just pointed out they just got done fighting Behemoth in Monster Hunter World. Oh my god, that is a hard fight in Monster Hunter World. Like, so hard.
NHL 24.
NHL. Oh, hockey.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the hockey game. Right.
It's been a hot minute since I played a sports game. Probably NBA Jam. Before that, Tecmo Bowl.
Yeah. Alright, let's see what comes to our pad. I believe, yep, there he goes. There's a big guy there. It's my Friday night game. Sheesh. Nothing wrong with it, dude.
Absolutely not.
Nah, no problems there. Oh my god. Oh, that's a lot of fire on the floor. I wonder if I'll finish the boss before the ads are done.
You've got about 50 seconds.
Well, he's got another fire phase, which he's about to go do. Ancient Flare. Alright. For me, taking my will. Oh, yeah. Oh, hi there. Get rid of this. He's about to be dead here shortly.
20 seconds.
Yeah, we killed him before the ad break.
Woo!
Alright, I'll vote for the healer. Grab some loot. Allegan Catalyst, I'll grab that. I'll greet that and greet that because those are damaged. Alright, awesome. Alright, welcome back, everybody.
Yep.
You just missed the end of the raid. We killed the final boss real quick. Now let's go raid someone.
Trying to remember the name of the baseball game on the Nintendo that was pretty good. Was it RBI Baseball? There was one of them that was pretty solidly entertaining.
Damn, sorry I was late, fella. No, it's okay. It's gonna take us a minute to get everything ready for the raid. I want to make sure everything's right because I don't want to screw this up. Because I've done that before. I am not the best at things sometimes. Alright, so we are going to raid out, and I believe, if memory serves, I gotta look at my schedule. I think we're supposed to be raiding Miss Jazzy Jewel 1, if memory serves. I gotta look at my notes.
Yep. Take a moment and verify.
Yep, verify on my notes that that's the person I need to say hi to.
And once we are out, I can tell that Dante needs a trip outside.
Yeah, Damien, yeah.
Damien. I don't... Dante and Damien.
Yeah, close enough.
Yeah, it's similar.
Alright. Alright, yep, it looks like that. Okay, so we're going to be rating Miss Jazzy Jewel, so let me get there to make sure everything is running.
Hi, Farrah Frere.
Farrah, welcome. You just caught us as we were raiding out. Alright, and she's having a birthday stream with Tricky Towers. So that's great. Oh, this is going to be fun. Alright. So, if you are one of my many followers, please use the following raid message. If you are one of my few subscribers, by all means, please use the following raid message when we go to raid. I just got raided.
Oh boy. We are raiding out and we've got raiding coming in.
Yeah, okay, so welcome raiders. We're just about to raid out. So welcome, Unicorn Girl. You can't stop. I have to. I have a puppy to walk.
Yes, puppy is whining, needs to be outside.
I'm sorry. Like, I do have responsibilities outside of stream. I do apologize. You just really bad timing, but I appreciate the fact that you trusted me with your community and brought them here. I'm gonna note down that you rated me. Real quick. LL is true. I was like, FS, yes! And there was much rejoicing. Yay! All right.
Skulls for the skull
An Inquisition shows up.
Inquisition, Jesus Christ. I have to raid out. I feel so shitty for doing this, but I have to raid out. Okay, guys?
Yep.
So, I will not be streaming tomorrow. I do apologize. I have things with my kids that I have to take care of.
We'll be back on Monday.
Yeah, we'll be back on Monday for another episode of Stellaris Eterna. And we'll be seeing if we're finishing the game then, if not the next Stellaris Eterna.
Yep.
So there is that. If you please make sure that you're taking care of yourselves mentally and physically. And I know you come to my wonderful, resplendent tavern for the witty banter, but you stay for my fuck-ups. I hope to see you all in my tavern again sometime soon. Toodles.
Toodles.